Before we get started on today's video, I wanted to ask you to leave a big thumbs up on this video. Also, if you could leave me a comment down below on any future videos you'd like me to make, that would be super helpful. And consider subscribing to my channel if you like the content that you see. Okay, let's get into it. Hi, today I'm going to be talking about my process in redrawing my character Lula from my very cancelled series, 𝐦𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐜. So the first thing I want to talk about is this is not a revamp of my webcomic, more than it is me just trying to get out of my comfort zone and also revisiting my old art and trying new things, and also seeing how much I have improved, if at all, in the last year. So for those of you who don't know, I launched 𝐦𝐮𝐬𝐢𝐜, my webcomic, last year in August. Actually, it was August 1st of 2020 when the first chapter went up. And this title page that I will be redrawing was done in July of 2020. So the original one was done in July of 2020. So we're a little bit past the year mark, and that's okay. We're in, now November, but I drew this a couple days ago. So yeah, I think I drew this October 31st. So I drew this on Halloween. I redrew this on Halloween. So I want to take you kind of on a little journey while you watch the time lapse in the background, and just kind of talk a little bit about my experience and the things that I changed. Maybe talk a little bit about on the things that I improved on. If at all possible, I will add timestamps to the video. So if you want to look at the description down below, or the pinned comment I have left down below for timestamps, you're more than welcome to go check those out. Okay, let's get started. So I guess my thought process, we'll start with that. For the first illustration I made, so the original or the old one, I wanted to do, I don't know if I had any direction, but I know I wanted to do something where she was in a more dynamic pose, quote unquote. It turned out to not be very dynamic. It turned out very stiff. I don't really know where her hand is. Like, is it on a wall? Or, that left hand is just kind of floating up there. Kind of like, is she startled? Like, ooh, and she like lifted her arm. I don't really know what the decision behind that was. I really don't know. That left leg is also kind of like protruding out, almost like I almost feel like that would be a very uncomfortable position to be in. It's kind of like her leg is out and then her ankle almost kind of looks a little bit folded in, or not folded, but like bent in a little bit. Very uncomfortable looking position, very stiff position. Line work needs some help. I still need help with line work. I've not really gotten very much any better with it. So it's funny because I really enjoy doing the line work. It's the most satisfying part of illustrating for me. I know that for a lot of people, they hate doing line work. And really for me, I hate coloring, which is why I really love the manga halftones, screen tones look, because for me, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it's very visually appealing to me. But it's also, I don't know, for me, it's a lot easier to kind of wrap my brain around versus colors. So yeah, I attempted color on that first illustration you see there. And I don't know. So if you haven't noticed, I love the color pink. My favorite color is blue, by the way. It is what it is. But, you know, there isn't a lot of color in this first illustration. It seems it's very pink, and there's some yellow in there to kind of bring out her eyes, I guess. I don't really know I don't want to say the creative decision, but the decision, I don't even know what was going through my mind when I drew this. I feel like it's not terrible, but it's not wonderful either. You know, there's a lot of room for improvement, a whole lot of improvement to be made in that first illustration. I also don't really like the way her skirt, like her dress is like very poofy at the bottom. It's almost like she's got one of those, what are they, like the iron baskets that women used to wear back in the day to make their dresses like really big. I don't know if it's an iron basket. I don't know. It's like, I know it's like a basket that they wear, or like some kind of cage or something, like a bird cage. It almost looks like she's wearing that or some form of that, and I don't really like it. I don't know why I left it that way. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely in love with that first illustration, or like that title page for chapter 1. So yeah, so now let's talk about my recreation process, I guess. So chapter 1, the title of chapter 1, or chapter 1, was named Let's Start at the Beginning, because if you read the webcomic, which you probably didn't because it's already taken down everywhere, but it's just pretty much starting from the beginning of the story. I mean, there's nothing creative about it. It's very self-explanatory. So in this next illustration, so in the one I attempted, the new one, I wanted to do, and you know, looking at it now, see, I drew this yesterday, and I was loving it, and I was loving it. I kind of do like the line art a little bit now. I do think that there is a lot of improvement to be made on my end with line work. Obviously, just everything in general, anatomy, lighting. I mean, obviously, like the works, right? But I wanted to go with a more dynamic pose for this one, which is why her foot's kind of up in the air. Originally, it was going to be completely different, but I ended up liking her just kind of like, almost like she's looking at her toes, and I didn't put the shoes there. So there's really like no story behind this illustration either, but now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I just really wanted a dynamic pose in the beginning. But now that I'm looking at it again, it almost kind of makes me laugh a little bit, because for you ladies out there who have ever worn wedges or high heels, y'all know the pain that they are. And I'm sorry, I kind of want to laugh a little bit. You know the pain of wearing high heels and wedges. If you've worn them, of course. And gentlemen, if you've worn them too, I mean, you can leave your comments down below and tell me about all your experiences wearing very uncomfortable shoes. And this is for both ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's funny because she's wearing wedges in the first illustration that I made, and she's not wearing any shoes in the second one, but she's looking at her feet like like she's looking at her feet like, man, my girls are howling, you know? Like my feet hurt from wearing those wedges. So I don't know. I didn't catch it then. I just wanted a dynamic, cool pose where one body part is, you know, closer to the camera. I guess if you were thinking of it like a picture, it would be closer to the camera or closer to the audience, while her, the rest of her is further away, creates a little bit some depth. But yeah, I didn't really succeed in that, and that's okay. Now that I'm looking at it, I think it's kind of funny. She's kind of like, damn, I'm so happy that I don't have those shoes on anymore, because uncomfortable looking shoes. But anyways, so on this next one, I kind of just wanted to do something a little bit more dynamic, something that had a little bit more depth. Although, I didn't really succeed at that. What I will say is, I did try something new. I created a background. And I used shapes in Clip Studio Paint, which I'm very happy about. I finally attempted it, and I am not completely head over heels on the background, but I don't hate it either. I think that, like always, and you will hear me say this time and time again in all of my videos, improvement is definitely something that will be made, as time goes on. So, but yeah, I think definitely the second illustration, the redraw, is more fitting for a manga. It gives me more manga feels than the first one. And it could just be because the first one, the colors just don't do it. I mean, it just looks, it looks very sloppily put together. It looks like I rushed and I didn't really take my time on it. And I think that's fair. I was trying to rush the first chapter of my webcomic series. And I think, with rushing and trying to get it done so quickly, I kind of, what is the word for, the quality of it went down. I can't think of the word, but I what is it? Not risked, but I mean, yeah, I guess I risked the quality, but no, not risk. I can't think of the word. Anyways, I can't think of the word, but I pretty much was in the mindset of quantity over quality, and I definitely have always tried to live by quality over quantity. So anyways, that's why my series didn't make it. That's because I just had so many issues, internally with myself. And anyways, but that's a video for another time. So yeah, I definitely think that the second redraw has a more manga feel. For those of you still watching, what do you think? Do you think it has more of a manga feel than the first, or do you like the first one better? What do you think, what do you think I did right in the first one, if I did anything right at all, versus the second? Or, what do you like in the second one? Or what do you think I did right in the second one versus the first one? So yeah, I would love to hear some input, and critiques are welcomed, but I do like some tactful. Be tactful, y'all. I do welcome criticism, but again, it has to be constructive and it has to be well said. This whole, just immature comments are not gonna fly. But anyways, I don't really have anything else to say other than it was a good little redraw. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing the pose for the second one a lot more. I took my time with the line art. I enjoyed doing the background. I actually added a background and tried to put in a little bit of her personality. I feel like I didn't do her complete justice, but I did put the poster back there that says love on it. I did put the little unicorn. For those of you who read it, she had a thing with her unicorn. Not a thing, but she loved her little unicorn. It was a little stuffed animal that she had with her, and it was like her best friend. So yeah, so I tried to put that in there. Although he looks different in here, I'm thinking, make it a little bit different than the original. But yeah, I also went ahead and added the title of chapter 1 down at the bottom, which, I was thinking about doing it at the top, but for whatever reason, it just, I don't know. I wasn't really satisfied with it. So I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked at the top. I preferred it at the bottom. I don't know why. Maybe because her foot's down at the bottom and it kind of brings your eye down. Now, maybe people disagree, but that's kind of how I feel. I felt it was a little misplaced up at the top of the page. So yeah. Anyways, I think this video is long enough. Thank you for joining me on my webcomic redraw. Not really that it's like my whole webcomic being redrawn, but yeah, at least the little title page there. All right, well, I think that's it. Again, if you liked my video, please go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below with your thoughts or critiques, or you know, any suggestions or any future videos you'd like to see from me. And yeah, hit that subscribe button again if you like my content. All right, well, I think that's it, guys. Y'all have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next video.